Hey guys, Emily Jean if you're new here, and today we are going to do my April TBR using my jars. So if you want to find out what I'm going to pick, what these jars are going to pick, grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's get cozy. Okay, so I usually try to do this a little bit earlier in the month to avoid the mass influx of TBR videos, but it did not go so well this month because we have all gotten sick with the season change. We're in Maine, so it went from like 60 degrees outside in a t-shirt to 28 degrees and back and forth and back and forth. So if my voice sounds a little bit weird, that's why, but we are here and we are going to pull for April TBR. March TBR went okay. I got a little distracted with all the readathons happening, a little hijacked by Weekend with Agatha, and lost track a little bit. I have 2 books I'm going to try to finish before the end of the month, and then I will have successfully done all my March TBRs. But this month, for April, my goal is to not get hijacked. Not get hijacked by anybody else's mission and just stick to my TBR, and then if I read these, I can add on. And it's not about trying to be too rigid in my reading, but I actually find I enjoy my reading a lot more when I have focused energy into the books I'm reading and when I'm not feeling like there's so many things happening and so many things I want to get done. So all that being said, we're going to pick from my TBR jars today. This has a list of all the books on my physical shelves that I have not read yet from the end of 2021 and before, so it doesn't include any new books I picked up this year. And this includes all of my books from Goodreads that were on my Goodreads Want to Read from 2021 and before, trying to clear those both out. So I'm going to pick 2 from each, and then I give myself a freebie every month as well. So let's pick from the Owlcrate jar. So books on my physical shelf. 1, 2. We got Unchosen. I've been really curious about this. This actually came in a book box last year, I think. I just rearranged my shelves. If you want to hang out with me while I do that, I'll link the video in the description box, and I can't remember where all my books are, so give me a second. Okay. We've got Unchosen. I'll pull all the books and then we'll talk about them. And Song of Blood and Stone. I've also been eyeing this one by Penelope. Oh, okay. So it has a little note to, I need to read the first one. This was a dollar store book that I got that I didn't realize was the second in a series, so I'm actually going to have to request the first in the series from my library. So that will actually be 2 books because I'll read the first and the second in April, hopefully. But look at this cover. Come on, look at this cover. Stunning. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. Now, let's pick out 2 from my Goodreads Want to Read list. 1, 2. Okay. Yay! Okay. Wolfsbane. So this is the Silver series by Rhiannon Held, which is a werewolf series. We have Silver, who is our main character, who is incredible. She's this werewolf who is poisoned by Silver, and the Silver still lives in her body, so she can't shift back into werewolf form. And now she is the alpha of she's co-alpha of the pack with her mate, and this is the 4th in the series called Wolfsbane. So I've been wanting to come back to this series. I really enjoy it, and I'm so excited to be able to check this one out in April. And then we got Perfect Ruin. Oh, I can picture the cover. It has like that milky white sort of thing on it. The Internment Chronicles #1 by Lauren De Stefano. So I added this to my TBR May 2019. So I have to look it up. I don't remember what the heck it's about. Okay, so those are my jar picks, and then my freebie this month. I'm hoping to do 2 because these just came in from the library. Brandon from Brandon's Bookshelf did an incredible video on his top science reads. I forget what, he has a much better title than that. But I got these 2 from the library. Super Intelligence by Nick Bostrom and Transcendence by Gaia Vence. They both sound incredible. They are nonfiction, and I absolutely want to read them this month. So my goal each month is 5 books a month. I've been on a pretty good streak. This will be 4 plus the 2 for my Goodreads TBR, 5, 6, plus the first one of that would be 7. I think that's doable. As long as I don't get sidetracked, that could be doable. So these 2 nonfiction, the first and the second in this series, Unchosen, the silver one, and Internment. So let's chat a little bit more about each of these and find out what they're about. Okay, Unchosen. This came from a Totally Booked crate that I used to get. This was last year's January book of the month. And it's for fans of dystopian, prophecy-defying heroines, swoon-worthy sea captains, smart/fast zombies. What? That sounds so good. So it has 4.04 stars on Goodreads, a little over 1,000 ratings, and it says, for Charlotte Holloway, the world ended twice. The first was when her childhood crush Dean fell in love with her older sister. The second was when the Crimson, a curse spread through eye contact, turned the majority of humanity into flesh-eating monsters. Neither end of the world changed Charlotte. She is still in the shadow of her siblings. Her popular older sister Harlow now commands forces of survivors, and her talented younger sister Vanessa is the chosen one, who, legend has it, can end the curse. Okay, so this could go 2 ways. One, it's way too focused on the YA family drama aspects and not enough on the fantastical elements for me, and I might not enjoy it. Or 2, it's way more focused on the fantastical elements and I'm gonna love it. What do we think? So that's Unchosen by Catherine Blair. And then this is Song of Blood and Stone that I picked up at the dollar store by L. Penelope, and it's... Wait, this does say it's book 1. I'm so confused now. Earth Singer Chronicles, book 1. So why did I read to... If this is book 1, I'm going to be so excited. Between love and duty lies destiny. It is the first one. That's so exciting. So this will be 6 on my TBR. Okay. I must have just had the note wrong because it was in the same Dollar Tree haul that I picked up a bunch of ones that actually ended up being seconds in the series. So who knows? But this says it was a Time Magazine Best Fantasy Book of 2018. L. Penelope's Song of Blood and Stone is a treacherous, thrilling, epic fantasy about an outcast drawn into a war between 2 powerful rulers. The kingdoms of Alcira and Lagrimar have been separated for centuries by the Mantle, a magical veil that has enforced a tremulous peace between the 2 lands. But now the Mantle is cracking, and the true father, ruler of Lagrimar and the most powerful Earthsinger in the world, finally sees a way into Alcira to seize power. Wow, there's a ton of them out now. Okay, so there's 4 books out and 2 half books. So if I like it, there's a lot to read in this series, and I'm just so drawn to this cover. Okay, I've also been studying working with human design a lot, and this really looks like the Rave Mandala. I don't know if it's an eye or what it's supposed to be, but it just reminded me of that. Okay, so that is my second pick from my shelf. So this won't be a third. There won't have to be one out of the library for that. Okay. So Silver, I already told you about. I can't describe the 4th book in a series too much without spoiling it, but it's a really great series if you do like werewolf reads. And then let's see what Perfect Ruin is, because I totally forgot. Oh, there's a floating city. Eee! Okay. Perfect Ruin, The Internment Chronicles #1 by Laura De Stefano. On the floating city, you can be anything you dream. A novelist or a singer or a florist or a factory worker, your life is yours to embrace or to squander. There's only one rule. You don't approach the edge. If you do, it's already over. Morgan Stockhour knows getting too close to the edge can lead to madness. Ooh, or does it, I wonder? Even though her older brother Lex was a jumper, Morgan vows never to end up like him. Wait a second. Did I read this? Is there another book where they're on a city in the clouds and she like runs away? Oh my god, this is not going to be a good way to describe it. I hope I haven't read this book. It's sounding eerily familiar. But we'll see. So I got to request this from the library, but it does sound really good. I mean, it's not on my read list and I've been tracking since 2016 or 2017, but it sounds really similar to another book that I read where they end up finding out there is a whole world underneath the clouds that they didn't know about. I don't know. Okay. So those are the two that I don't physically own, although I do think I have an ebook of Silver, so I'll probably read that on my Kindle. And let me tell you a little bit about these and why they intrigue me so much. One, they're about humanity, like humans, how we work, how we think, and I'm so drawn to that type of nonfiction right now. I'm so curious about how our brains and our body works and our consciousness and our dreams and all of the things. So I think Brandon's video was the first book ever of people like sharing hauls or TBRs where I added every single book from the video to my TBR. Yeah. So super intelligence. This is a look into artificial intelligence and like actually looking, from what I understand, at how we could potentially solve the problem of singularity, or in this case, I think he's referring it as superintelligence. If machine brains one day come to surpass human brains in general intelligence, the fate of our species would depend on the actions of powerful AI. In this profoundly ambitious and original book, Nick Bostrom thoroughly examines what he calls the most essential problem of our time. Can we solve the superintelligence control problem before it's too late? So it sounds very fantastical, but it is nonfiction. It is looking at it from that scientific perspective and what we already know about AI. So be nice to your Alexas. No. Be nice and kind to everybody. AI, humans. But I'm super interested to see what this will spark, what it will make me think about, and it's something right up my alley. So that is Superintelligence by Nick Bostrom. And then Transcendence, I believe, is going to be about evolution, a different take on the things that prompted us to evolve and the 4 major things that prompted it. So I think it talks about 4 key drivers: fire, language, beauty, and time, that encourage us to evolve. Provocative and poetic, Transcendence shows how our species slipped the bonds of biological life to determine the course of its own destiny. And it asks, now that we have remade our world, what are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing? I wonder that a lot. I was in 3rd grade when I remember getting online for the first time. A little dial-up tone. Couldn't use the phone at the same time. I remember being blown away that I was talking to somebody in a different country. Yes, I was in 3rd grade on the computer talking to someone from a different country. I don't think anybody knew what was happening on the computer at that time. Maybe I was a little bit older. Anyways, I remember I grew up without the internet, outside playing, right? And then it kind of started to become integral to what was going on in day-to-day life. Everybody was kind of using it, and now it is what we live and breathe. Like, that happened. I'm not even 40 yet. I'm 36. That happened in the span of such a short period of time. What have we done to ourselves? What have we done to our consciousness? What, for good and for worse? Like, how are we evolving now? It's just so mind-boggling to me, so interesting. So based on that tangent, I'm very excited. I love reading about things like this, to check these out this month. So, my mantra: I will not get distracted. I will not get distracted. I will not get distracted. I might get distracted. These are my TBR for April. Add on Silver, add on The Perfect Interment or Perfect Ruin, and that's what I'll be reading. I'm feeling very good about this. I hope you enjoyed hanging out. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know if you are going to pick any of them up now. And I hope you have a beautiful reading month in April. I hope March rounded out well for you. And I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye, guys.